Nithyanandam everyone, this is Prasiddha. Welcome back to Kundalini Yogini. Thank you for joining me and being a part of this community. If you haven't yet subscribed and hit the bell icon, make sure to do so that you get updates on when I post videos, and follow me on other social media so you can see more regular content. So I was sharing with some of you guys in the last live stream that I did that I had a really crazy experience with the enlightened master Sri Yukeswar, who was the guru of Yogananda, Paramahamsa Yogananda, for those of you guys familiar with Autobiography of a Yogi. I actually had a dream about a month ago that he actually visited me and was initiating me into Kriya Yoga and a particular cleansing Kriya. And I wanted to share this experience with you guys primarily so that I don't forget this story, and that, you know, it gets into my memory and it becomes that experience for me. And also for you guys, knowing that these experiences are not, you know, I'm not sharing because I'm this special person. It's that these beings and divine connections are available for all of us in our lives. And I think that just the more that we have that as what we're seeking, it comes to us, you know, and the more that we crave it, the more that we, get fulfilled by it, we receive these experiences. And I am so humbled and so grateful that I had this encounter with Sri Yukeswar, and I actually have a really cool connection with him, which I'll share also with you guys. So to start off, a few years ago when I was at my first Inner Awakening program, actually, so now this was like almost 6 years ago, but I was doing a meditation process in the presence of my master, my guru, Bhagavan Sri Nithyanandam Paramashivam, and I had this experience where I saw this yogi come to me in a vision. And at this point in time, I knew nothing about Hinduism or other masters. I had no prior experience or education in this field. So my mind, I did not know anything about this. I didn't even know who it was that I saw, and I had not even had mystical experiences up until that point. So it was pretty baffling for me to see a very specific individual in my inner space as I was in this meditation process. And I wondered why he came to me, and it was like I was telepathically wondering that. I received the answer from him, and he didn't say his name. He said, "I'm the guru of Sri Yukeswar." And I said, "I don't even know who that is. Is that even a real person?" And after the experience, I of course pull out my phone to Google it and find out that indeed this is a real being. And as soon as I pulled up who is the master of Sri Yukeswar, I found out it was Lahiri Mahasaya. And Lahiri Mahasaya, for those of you guys that might be familiar with him, you know, or not, he's the guru of Yogananda's guru, and he was very well known for being one of the first gurus who was living a householder life instead of a sannyas life. Instead of being a monk, he was actually married and had children, and was kind of the embodiment of living that lifestyle of enlightenment, but as a householder. So as I'm reading this, I'm thinking, that's really funny, because I've known that was what I have been seeking on my path for as long as I can remember. It was to embody that divine love, but in the role of a family, you know, in the role of a family. And so I said, that's really cool that he has that connection, and I'm so drawn to that path too. And as I kept reading, more and more things started to line up, including the fact that his mission was to bring back the roots of yoga and spread authentic yoga. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And as I started reading, the craziest thing popped out to me, which was that he was born on September 30th, my birthday, and he died exactly 100 years before I was born, which was just mind-blowing to me. Like, what are the odds of that, right? So, of course, I still don't know the answer, and I don't want to come to any conclusions, but there's obviously some connection that we have from the get-go. So fast forward now to 5 years later. Just the other day, I had this dream experience, and it was extremely vivid. It didn't even feel like a dream in the same way that my other dreams do. And I've had many experiences like that before, where I knew it was a different state of consciousness I was in, not just the dream state. And I was in this big hall with a bunch of people, and Swamiji was there, my guru, and we were in this kind of program, like an inner awakening setting, and a lot of people were around. And I saw there was this other master there, and it was who I now know and recognize as Sri Yukeswar. I know his form, and his face and his beard and everything. So actually it was really interesting because we were in this crowd of people, and I was just thinking, wow, how amazing it would be to interact with this being. And out of all the people in the crowd, he looks at me directly in my eyes and calls me over. And I'm thinking, like, am I really being chosen out of everybody? This is amazing. I don't understand, But he calls me over, and then for the duration of this experience, as kind of it seemed like days were passing in this state, I was his right-hand woman, and I was following him everywhere, helping him with things. He would ask for things, I would go get them. And this one time he called on me and said, he wrote me this note and said, you need to teach this Kriya. And I looked at him and I said, I don't know this Kriya. How am I supposed to teach it? And he looked at me and said, everything you need, you already know. And I was really confused still, and my ego was kind of like, how am I going to do this? I don't know how to teach this to all these people. And he handed me this piece of paper with his writing on it, and he gave a few points of instruction. So I went around following them to gather these items that were to be used for this cleansing Kriya. And the premise of this Kriya was to actually get these strips of cloth, of a particular kind of cotton cloth. And I didn't know what kind of cloth was needed, and it wasn't written down. And so I went to the side room and I was talking to somebody, asking them if they knew what cloth this was, hoping they would. And they didn't. And then I read this note, and all of a sudden I could see these images and words in my mind flashing of pages of the Nithyanandam yoga book that I had read years ago, where it depicted all the details of this Kriya. And so I was like, it just flashed back to me and came to me, and I was like, of course, he was right. I did already know. It's that awareness just wasn't there, right? We go about life all the time absorbing things with our senses that we never recall. But in that moment, I was able to just pull that image out. Just like if you guys have seen that movie Limitless, how he's able to kind of access anything he's ever seen. I was in that kind of state, and I was like, whoa, I do know. And so I started gathering this particular cotton cloth at a particular length, and I ran back to Sri Yukeswar, and he was like, very good, very good. And I ended up sitting by him, and I remember he like placed his hand on my head like this and literally downloaded and initiated me into this Kriya Yoga. And that was the kind of main part of the dream. I woke up feeling so amazed and in awe because, yeah, part of you, I think, part of our small identity, right? We really love to limit ourselves. I think that the ego, actually, the main trick it plays is not overextending itself of like the arrogance, but usually the false piety or humbleness that we carry, the limitations that we carry, that feeling like, why would that happen to me? I'm not special, right? Those small identities we like to keep ourselves stuck in. So I had that feeling come up. Why would I, why me? Why would I get this experience? And I don't know the why, and I don't care about the why, but I do know that today when I was meditating, post-eclipse, and this new wave of energy has opened up for all of us, that I had a very, very profound experience in meditation where I was told by Shiva, like, you need to share this experience and you need to live up to it. It's time to stop playing in these smaller identities and live up to the larger vision that I have for you. So this is me showing up and starting to do that, and kind of stepping back into my power and realizing that I do have this amazing mission that I know my life is for in this body, and I'm so excited to share that with you. So I really thank you guys for coming on this journey with me too. And I would love to hear your guys' experiences. If you've had any experiences similar or different to this that you would love to share in the comments. I love reading about it. I love interacting with you guys in that way. So if you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, we will connect on the next video. I love you guys. Sending big blessings your way. Nithyanandam.